What's up, guys? Mr. Blacks and Team Blacksmith. Welcome to my channel. Oh, I got the Battle of the Grails going head to head tonight. I got that Cabot Guns Insurrection Chamber to 9mm going head to head with the one and only Hayes Custom Cobra Chamber to 9mm. Woo! This is going to be a good one. So are you ready? Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the range footage. Woo! So let's get started with the Battle of the Grails. Now I chose the Hayes Custom Cobra to go up against the Cabot Guns Insurrection because they're similar design, but one has the 5-inch ported bull barrel going up against a 5-inch ported bushing barrel. Now when I got these to the range, I automatically assumed that one would outperform the other. And to my surprise, the performance level, yeah, right there. But Grail gun level status, in my opinion, only a certain guns reach that level. You got Infinity, you got Atlas Gunworks, you got Nighthawk Customs, Accuracy X. Yes, Accuracy X. And let's throw Legion, Precision, Chirac in the mix there. Because overall, quality, build, performance, blended together so well, gives you that Grail gun status. The value of these, yes, the price tag, in my opinion, does matter because that's the level of machining and everything else, that special touch that you get to these double stack 1911s and 2011s makes it that Grail gun that everyone is looking to have in their collection. But right now, these two, man, at the range, I was just back and forth shooting round after round, trying to figure out which one edged out the other. And to my surprise, you know what? Let me save that. Let's do the tabletop review. Let's take a look at these. Now, I'm not going to do a full-blown tabletop review because I did individual reviews on these previously. So I'll drop those links to those individual reviews in the description. So go check those out if you haven't done so already. But let's get to the tabletop review. Take a look at these. Take a look at the slight differences that made one edge out the other, in my opinion. And all of this is my own personal preferences when it comes to which one I decide is the best of the best. All right, so quick tabletop review. Be right back. All right, guys, quick tabletop review of some amazing Grail guns in my collection. But before I get started, I want to give a huge shout out to the Bunker Gun Shop, my man Chris, my man Frank, the best in the business. If you haven't checked these guys out yet, their link is in the description. Go check them out. You won't be disappointed. Now let's do our safety check for each one. All clear, empty, working in a safe and controlled environment. There's no ammunition or magazines in the workspace. All clear. All clear. Safe and controlled environment. All right, safety check out of the way. All right, so let's talk about the Hayes Custom Cobra Double Stack 1911, of course, chambered at 9mm. Now, surprisingly enough, this is coming in at 2 pounds, 14 ounces, the way it's set up now, empty, compared to the Cabot Guns Insurrection coming in at 3 pounds. I thought the weight would be kind of equal, but the scale, and that's what the scale is telling me. So 2 pounds, 14 ounces, 3 pounds with regards to weight. Now the balance on each of them are actually pretty nice. So let's get into the specs of the Hayes Custom. Like I said, full 5-inch bull ported barrel. Like I said, amazing work by Hayes Custom with those ports, the gold tin, the machining on the slide. Like I said, still slide, still frame, still aggressive grip, nice flared magwell, pen grip safety, ambidextrous thumb safety. Nice serrations here, not too sharp, but definitely the press checkers out there. Yeah, you're definitely not going to lose or have this slip out of your hand. Now, this is coming with a 9-pound recoil spring. Overall, just one of those Grail guns that checks off a lot of boxes, in my opinion. Competition gun, range toy, showpiece. I would eliminate home defense or EDC for this, just for the fact that it is a Grail piece, very hard to acquire. So for showpiece, range toy, competition use, yes, checks off those boxes. Everything about it just screams performance. And the machining, slide to frame fit, there is no movement. Now I'm only going to point out this gap because when I compare the Cabot Guns Insurrection, you'll see why. But again, no movement whatsoever on this. The slide to frame fit, the action, very nice. That trigger pull coming in at 2.5 pounds. Amazing reset. Yes, yes, screams performance. Now when we get into the Cabot Guns Insurrection, now again coming in at 3 pounds. And the very unique ergonomics of this is something I had to get used to. But let's talk about the specs real quick. Full 5-inch ported bushing barrel, still frame, still slide, still grip. No pen grip safety here. Of course, ambidextrous thumb safeties. Now, the trigger pull on this, like I said, this is a 7-pound recoil spring coming in at 3.5 pounds. Amazing reset. And like I said, the slide to frame fit, as you can see, very nice. And let's get into the machining. Now, if you look at this in comparison to the Hayes Custom Cobra, you can see what I mean about the one little gap on the Hayes versus the Cabot Guns, where the machining on this is just flawless. And that's what Cabot Guns is known for, making some of the best custom guns out there on the market each and every time. Like I said, I had never heard a complaint about a Cabot gun not being machined perfectly. And that's what you can say about Cabot Guns. Now, that does not take away from Hayes Customs when it comes to overall performance, machining, and everything else that comes along with this amazing gun. But with regards to the ergonomics, let's talk about ergonomics. Now, if you're a 2011 or double stack 1911 shooter, you're kind of used to the ergonomics of what you see here with this type of grip, with this type of trigger guard. Now, this is my preference when it comes to overall ergonomics. This is what I prefer. Now, with regards to the Cabot Guns, now they did break the mold with this type of grip. Very unique, but really what kind of sets this one apart from the Hayes is the trigger guard. For myself, I'm used to having my finger placed there. With regards to the Cabot Guns Insurrection, my finger slides up and I really have to readjust my grip, force myself to readjust my grip. But I find myself, my finger placed here, which kind of throws my shots off a little. So I really need a lot more trigger time with the Cabot Guns in comparison to the Hayes Custom. Now, more than just a showpiece, more than just a collector's piece, you could use this in a competition. But again, with regards to concealed carry, home defense, no way. These are very hard to acquire, double stack 1911s. Grail pieces, yes. Keep those in those categories of competition, collection piece, range toy. That's all these, in my opinion, these are made for. Anything beyond that, you really take risk protecting yourself in a self-defense situation and losing these guns because of evidence. The cops, they will take them and hold on to them for quite some time. Hopefully you get it back. But that's just my overall opinions on these. Now, I do have full reviews on each of these, so check those links in the description. Check out the full review, breakdown of each one. Like I said, you won't be disappointed if you haven't done so already. But overall, if I do the verses, I do give it to the Hayes Custom because of the overall ergonomics of this. Just, in my opinion, is just better than the Hayes Custom. I do like they were unique in their design, but if they squared off the trigger guard, in my opinion, these things will be equally matched with regards to overall performance. But that is just my quick tabletop review of each one. Like I said, links in the description for full reviews on each one. But let's get into my final thoughts and opinion on these Grail guns. Be right back. All right, guys, tabletop review is done. So the Battle of the Grails for this versus, yes, that Hayes Custom Cobra edges out the Cabot Guns Insurrection purely on ergonomics alone. Performance-wise, these things are on par with each other. But the unique grip and design of the Cabot Guns Insurrection does take some getting used to, especially if you're used to specific grips and double stack 1911s that's out there on the market today. But quality, build, performance-wise, yes, these things are neck and neck with each other. All right, so that's all I got for tonight. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think. Agree with me, disagree with me, but I tell you, this was a good versus and more to come. So stay tuned for that. But if you haven't checked out the individual reviews for each of these, links are in the description. Check it out if you haven't done so already. You won't be disappointed. All right, so that's all I got for tonight. As always, like, share, subscribe. Join the team. I'm out.